Alright, hello everyone, MeanSpeed here with another video. Today's video, the Revive Heroes project. I'm going to talk about what it is as best as I can and just give my opinions and thoughts on it. But yeah, this is essentially something that a lot of you wanted me to talk about. I have known about it for a while, I just never got around to making a video on it. But yeah, more information has been revealed, so yeah, it's a good enough time for me to make a video on it. And as well as the obvious, which is, me doing a video on it because it's Battlefield Heroes related. I do kind of want to spread the word on this, and from what I've seen, not many videos have been made about it yet, so it would be good just to get people, knowing about this. So, yeah, basically, I got a comment 6 months ago on a video I did of launching the client. Yeah, I mean, I sort of had an open idea that if anyone was into coding and knew their stuff, if they could take anything from my video, anything like that, take it a bit further. Yeah, I wasn't sure of anyone being able to do that. But yeah, I got this comment, and I did translate it. Well, I use Google Translate, but yeah, it's in Portuguese, but it translates roughly to this. So I'm going to read it out. Basically, it says, so I think of creating a database. I'm going to try and put it into, because translate sucks. So I'm thinking of creating a database with the features of an account, imitating the original site, which allows you to play the game, but with no hacking or programming that's been done recently or until then. But it's already the first step to start the game. Now it only needs the information to load the character. Never give up. So, yeah, pretty much a rough translation there, but the person who put that comment is actually a member of this Revive Heroes project now. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about what I know about them. So, basically, they're a Portuguese group. What they've done is they've cracked the server files and the game files. They apparently launched servers and they managed to connect it with success. There's 8 developers, 2 website developers, 1 server architect, and 1 community manager. And they apparently have a few moderators as well. The project launched 2 weeks ago, apparently, but obviously I got that comment 6 months ago. Now, if that comment, was the first sort of thing relating to this project, let's just say I'm glad I did that video about launching the client from my desktop, because if that was, let's say, more of a reason for these guys to start doing this, that's awesome. If not, they might not have done it just based on my video. They probably already had like motivation for it, but I don't know. Yeah, obviously at the moment I'm aware they don't know like the estimated time of launch. They're just saying it could be a week or a month, whatever. It's pretty much like asking when's Renegade Line going to be released properly. You don't really know yet. In terms of future plans, they've just got like finishing the launcher for the game, finishing the Heroes creator, connecting accounts to servers, and obviously being able to play. Yeah, so I got that information from the community manager, Lagnis, so thank you to him. But yeah, so I just want you guys to know I'm still not, fully understanding how this all works. So if I make any mistakes here with saying what they're doing, and I get it wrong, obviously I apologise and I'll clear up any mistakes in another video or in the comments. But yeah, basically they're using the Battlefield Heroes server files with Battlefield 2142 to find, code and information that they need to move forward with the project. That's pretty much a simple way of putting it. At least I would say that's a simple way of putting it. But yeah, I'm going to be reading off some various quotes here that I've seen from others about the project, and just, information relating to it as well that might be useful. I know I'm going in a bit of a weird order with this video. Yeah, it's just random notes I've got, but this should all be pretty good. Right, so I'm going to read this comment. So, he once looked into the game and server files, the ones that resided on hosted servers, out of boredom, and maybe to have a go at making it run again. Can't be done without creating all the back end from scratch, which is quite hard now that the game is offline. It would have been easier, in air quotes, if done while it was still available. To sniff packets and to be more hacky with the resources available, before having it set to mildly run for the first time. I mean, it's not impossible to be done, but we're talking about a project that could be a couple of years in the making before having it set to mildly run for the first time, yeah. About the legality of it all, they can run it like the current Battlefield 2 and 3 community server projects as long as it's 100% free, not counting server space rental. So EA might turn a blind eye and let it run forever. So as long as they're not making money off it and they're charging people for weapons and clothes like the real Battlefield Heroes did. To be honest, they only need people willing to have it as a weekend project. It could take them a year, 2 tops to do it, since it's basically old tech on what was used for that game. They already found about Magma, that's why it's highlighting to me they do know what they're doing. Stuff will be slower since the service is not online to sniff around it, but it's doable. The only question is when, again in air quotes. And about money, the Battlefield 3 and 2 projects did not need it except for servers to run, so that's a plus that it's not a big pressing issue. They already managed to make VP work and managed to make a server run with VV. They still haven't figured out the connection to the client and the menu, which is all backend related, so anything non-backend related is figured out. The long part is creating the backend emulator. They just joined the Revival network, now they're with the guys that did Battlefield 3 and all of that, so they have enough support to make it happen eventually. With the help of the Battlefield 3 team, they estimate it to work in a month or 2, but it will be a 2010 build of the game, and then they'll work on to add all the stuff later, the newer stuff. Yeah, so basically what we've got here is just quotes from people, well, one person, basically, you know, going back and forth between what I was saying about my concerns and stuff and getting some answers. But basically that's it. I'm going to get back to some of those points later, but another quote we've got here is, so far it only looks like they've found out what the script looks like and what does what. Yeah, alright, so let's just quickly get some criticism out of the way. This is very minor, this is not a big deal at all, really, in the grand scheme of things, but they've got a Discord, but like, in terms of the attitude from some of the staff members, you know, I just heard of a few people being laughed at and not taken seriously for asking serious questions about the legal stuff, and, you know, just being skeptical, and rightfully so. I mean, if you want more supporters and people to give you more credibility, just try to respect people a bit more, you know, even if they don't have all the facts or if they're misled or whatever. Yeah, that's my only real main negative. But yeah, I do have some other thoughts here. So basically, they're currently using the session ID code to launch the client and get the information they need. But I wonder if their data could be skewed because of those, because of these reasons. Regarding the ID. So I've got some other quotes here about that. So the session ID is only valid for the one login. It expires from inactivity after like 15 or 30 minutes. So the session ID you had to get again any time you wanted to play after the session expired. The session ID changes every time you log in, which is why it's called a session ID, obviously. If you do not have the newest session ID, you'll fail to log in. It was easiest way of making sure you went through the website. So to get the new session ID, you'd have to go to the website, right-click the Play Now button and save it, then open it with Notepad and get the new session ID and put it in the command line. I mean, of course, you know, if they're indeed planning to make their own accounts, login system and all this, they wouldn't really, you know, it wouldn't be an issue, at least from what I can understand. But yeah, guys, essentially, you know, I've sort of maybe gone into too much detail. I mean, all of this is pretty detailed. It's very, I don't know, hacky, I guess that's the word you'd use. Pretty complicated, especially for someone like me looking at all this. But yeah, essentially, there's a group of people, like I said, I think they're Portuguese, maybe just a few of them, attempting to revive Battlefield Heroes. Yeah, that they want to make their own launcher. They've got the server files, they've got the game files, they have other information that they need. They're just sort of appealing right now for more people in the know and coders and the like. Yeah, and they've got their own website, they've got their own forums, Discord, they've got an account system. But yeah, excuse me. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed with the progress that's been made so far. Believe me when I say, you know, I hope these guys can make this happen, since Battlefield is one of my favourite games of all time. It's my favourite PC game and a free-to-play game. But for now, honestly, I'm not going to get my hopes up too much. Only because if I do and it doesn't go to plan, you know, maybe some ideas don't execute or play out how they were thought to, I'd honestly be pretty sad about it after being so hyped up. So, yeah. Also, my concern is if they do find someone who can help them greatly with this, chances are they won't know of Battlefield Heroes or be passionate enough about the game to do the work for free and on a frequent basis. But yeah, that's just my thoughts for now. I'll keep you guys updated as best as I can on the Revive Heroes project moving forward. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.